Hey y'all, it's me Alex. Today I have a video chat friendly neutral makeup tutorial for y'all. Now I wanted to do this because I do actually have a Skype interview for a job today, and I figure what would be a better opportunity than to film this. I had also done this for another job interview I had last week on Zoom, so I just wanted to show y'all some video chat friendly makeup and kind of what I do to like look professional and put together, but not make it necessarily like look bad on camera. I'm also thinking of doing a more colorful version of this. That way, you know, if you're in a situation where you don't have to like make a first impression, but you want to do some colorful makeup and you need to do it for like your class on Zoom or Skype or whatever, how you're doing it, you can have some more colorful options too. So anyway, I do actually have to get off so I can do that interview and prepare myself well for that. So I'm just going to get into the tutorial. Okay, so as you can see, I've already done my brows. So I'm going to just begin with my NYX HD eyeshadow primer because I don't do any other primer on my eyes. Now for this look, I'm going to be using my ColourPop X's and O's palette just because that's kind of what I always use when I want to do a little bit more of like a professional, easy eye look. Like, yeah, you can go really like grungy and dramatic with this, but it also has like a lot of really good neutrals in it. While they said that this was a pretty casual interview, I do want to be careful and not quite go full on Alex on our first meeting. So I'm going to begin with the shade Sidetracked here. I'm going to just take that on the fluffy end of an Anastasia brush and work that into my crease and outer corner. I'm just looking for a little bit of definition on my eyes. And now I don't have any problem doing like sort of like dark eye makeup or anything like that, but as far as like how it would look on Zoom or Skype or any sort of video chat, I generally try and keep it a bit lighter because my eyes are very dark, and also I have a very messed up sleep schedule right now. So my under eyes are also a bit dark, and so if I did like kind of a more smoky look with the way that I look right now, it would cover a lot of things up. So that's why I'm not doing that. Now on my lid, I'm going to go in with 20 something, that one right there. And this one, if you just apply it with a brush and not really use any sort of glitter glue or anything like that, it'll go on very sheer, which is actually pretty nice for kind of what I'm trying to achieve. You can like do something a little bit bolder, but like I said, since this is kind of a first impression, I'm trying not to go like full on colorful. I think you can definitely do a very like nice and colorful look on like Skype or Zoom and have it look very good. And I think that might require me doing another video like that for colorful makeup. If you're interested in that, let me know. But yeah, since this is a little bit more of a first impression, I want to keep this a bit more neutral, but I'm thinking maybe next week I can do a more colorful Zoom friendly tutorial. Now that kind of the top of my eyes are done, I am going to, well, I'm gonna go in with just a tiny bit of hooky right here. And basically I'm just going to very lightly tap my brush in and like tap any excess off. And this is just to give a tiny little bit more definition in the outer corner. I don't need anything big going on there. I just want a little bit of depth. Along my lower lash line, I will go in and do a base and stuff, but since this is pretty natural, I don't need to like worry about harsh lines or anything like that. I'm gonna go back in with more of Sidetracked and just fluff that along my lower lash line. And see, I think that provides some very nice definition to the eyes. Now for my inner corner highlight, I'm just gonna go in with No Better up here, and I'm just gonna use that on my finger. It's nothing fancy, I'm just popping that on in. And like I said, if you want this to pop a bit more, you can definitely use a glitter glue because I think those just work very well for ColourPop shimmer shadows. But I want this to be a little bit more neutral and natural. which is not something that I want often, but I want it in this case. So now I'm just gonna go in and curl my lashes, Ardell Lash Curler, and I'm gonna use black mascara, but I think this could also look really cool with like some dark brown mascara. But I kind of just wanna go where it is safe today, you know what I mean? And for my mascara, I'm gonna use my ColourPop BFF mascara. Now for my base product, this is what I always use anyway, but I find it especially good to use for online video chat things just because it is very light coverage, and I don't feel like in this sort of setting you need like full coverage cakey foundation. If you want to do that, it's fine, but it really isn't my preference. It is the NYX Tinted Skin Veil, the Bear With Me Tinted Skin Veil. I have the shade 04 True Beige Buff, and since I kind of just want my skin to, you know, be a little bit more evened out, I don't have any blemishes that I think are really going to be super prominent when I go on a video call, because that's the thing, is that a webcam and real life, webcams don't show quite everything, so you can use that to your advantage. But I'm just putting this on using an Anastasia Beverly Hills sponge, and this is just evening out my skin tone. Nothing too terribly dramatic, just because I find that, like, this is kind of what I was saying about the eyes. Generally speaking, I find that more dramatic makeup when it's not as high resolution on the camera, you know, when you're using a webcam instead of like a DSLR like I'm using right now, it's just not gonna show up as well. It's gonna look a little bit more muddy, which, like, you know, it's fine, you do you, but since I'm trying to, you know, this is a first impression type scenario, I want it to kind of show up as best as possible. So now I'm going to take a very light bit of I'm gonna take a very light bit of bronzer. This is the Milani Baked Bronzer in 04 Glow, and I'm just going to put that on my cheeks just very, very lightly. You know, where one would normally put bronzer, you kind of want to fake like you might have been outside, you know, once, even though no one has been outside in a few weeks, but that's okay. I want to look like I've seen the sun perhaps once in my entire life. And you see, I think that provides a very nice glue to the face. As far as cheek products go, I'm going to go in with this ColourPop Blush Sticks in 25-8, just because this is a little bit on the pinky neutral side. I think it'll go with my shirt quite well, and it also goes with the lip that I'm going to do. And I'm just going to put a very, very light layer of this on it. I would normally like put a little bit on my nose, but I don't want to do that right now. I want to avoid that kind of clownish look, but if you blend it out with a sponge, it ends up looking very neutral and natural, and I kind of buff it upwards so that it lifts up my cheeks. And then finally, I'm going to use a little bit of cream glowy stuff. Cream highlighter, that is the word I'm looking for. And I'm just going to put a little bit of that on the back of my hand. This is the City Color Glowing Complexion Illuminating Cream. This is really, really old, but I'm using it anyway. And I am just going to, again, take that sponge and dab it onto my cheekbones. The thing about cream products is that you can really, I think you have a bit more control once you kind of get the hang of it. You have a little bit more control over how much product really goes onto your face. To me, it's a bit easier to blend out than more powder products. I mean, it also all depends on the formula as well of the cream products that you're going for, because obviously, you know, this cream highlight is a little bit more metallic than some others, but that's okay. I just want it to hit the light very well. And then I'm also just gonna take the brush that I used for my bronzer and just run it over everything. That way it blends. I'm not taking any extra product. I would just like for, you know, things to be a little bit more blended in together. Now moving on to the lips, I like to use this a more matte lip cream from Milani in Loved. This is kind of a Kendo Vegan to Makeup Lolita 2 type shade, and I like it because it's kind of a My Lips But Better type color. If you have lighter lips, you could go for a little bit more of a nude shade, but I think this is the most flattering on me because some of my more nude lipsticks will like look good in person, but will wash me out a bit on camera. So I did this in a video earlier, but here's what I'm doing because I don't want it to have the harsh lines. So I'm just taking like a couple of little like dots right there. I'm rubbing my lip together. I said I'm rubbing my lips together. And I have a bunch on my teeth, but I'll fix it. And I'm just kind of blending it out with my finger like this. And there you can kind of see that my lips do have a bit more color right now, but it's not like overwhelming. And I got a whole bunch of lip product on my upper lip. And then finally, because I like to do a little bit of a gloss with it as well, I'm gonna just use this e.l.f. Tinted Lip Oil in Nude Kiss on top of it. Again, just for a little bit of plumping and dimension. Okay, and so this is the finished look. Let me know if you would like to see me do something like that's more of like a colorful Zoom friendly makeup look, because I would be more than happy to do that as well. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all in my next video. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Bye!